What's the kindest thing you've done that made you feel worse, not better? Growing up, I could never hang out with my friends because of my parents, but not in the way you're thinking. They let me see them. In fact, they would sometimes beg me to leave the house and see them, except I didn't want to. I wanted to spend my summer cleaning the house, dust the corners of every room, do the laundry, because I thought to myself that one day I would move out and my parents would realize how much I did for them while I was still here. This is what got me through all the nights they would congratulate my brother Luke for every little thing, whilst wailing on me for not doing more. One time, when I was 15, I repainted the entire garage and even bought the paint with money I had earned through babysitting. But when I showed my dad, his hand met my face because I had used the wrong color. Meanwhile, not even a week later, Luke borrowed my parents' car and crashed it. My parents' immediate reaction? You're so brave for trying new things, honey. But the biggest shock came when I, now 26, told them I wanted to be a doctor 6 years ago. They told me that since I was going to make a lot of money, I had to start giving them 80% of my minimum wage job paycheck because I would be able to pay back any loan, especially since Luke didn't plan on working or going to college. I would have said no, but that's when my mom started crying and telling me how much they were struggling. I settled on giving them 20%, and when I moved out, I knew I had made the right choice. Fast forward to August, when I had my white coat ceremony. I had graduated from my bachelor's degree at the top of my class, and for the first time, I actually believed in myself. I could say no to people without feeling guilty or explaining myself. I didn't cringe at every little thing I said anymore, and that's when my parents slipped back into my life, not to shout at me or even scold me. They reached out to humbly ask if they could attend my white jacket ceremony. It was an email, and at the end it was signed, Love, your parents XX. The word love alone made me tear up. The last time we had spoken was 2 years prior, when one of my payment contributions didn't go through, and before that, it was crickets. So this was amazing. Fireworks were practically going off in my head. It was the moment I had dreamed about, as I scrubbed the house all those years ago. I was so quick to celebrate that I didn't even give myself time to be skeptical. I just did what my inner child told me to do and typed, yes. And as the white coat was put on me, I felt prouder than ever. It was two of my biggest dreams coming true. My parents applauding me and becoming a doctor. That day, I smiled so much my cheekbones actually started to ache. Then the next day, I was debating on whether or not I should invite them over for dinner, maybe start a snowball effect on rebuilding our relationship. And that evening, my phone buzzed with a notification. It was an iMessage group chat with me, Luke, and my parents. They didn't say anything. It was just a PDF link my dad had sent. I daydreamed about it being travel plans, or even a formal birthday party invite. But when I clicked on it, my heart dropped. It was a form to co-sign a small loan of $150,000 for Luke. Then Luke sent a message. It's the least you can do now that you're going to be rich. No one else said anything. No thanks for letting us come yesterday. No, we're so proud. No congratulations. I couldn't help but laugh. I had no problem with co-signing a lease. I still believe everyone deserves a second chance. But Luke of all people, and not even a please or thank you, just entitlement? I stopped myself from sending death threats and plugged out my Wi-Fi box to force myself to reflect before acting. It wasn't until 2 days later that I could finally bring myself to reply. I told my brother I would not co-sign, but instead, I would send $60,000 to his bank account. No strings attached. I could have just left it at that. But my inner child refused. So again, I let him take over. I took photos of all the scars they gave me and sent them all, reminding them of the story behind each one. The one behind my elbow? I asked Dad why Luke was getting dessert while I wasn't getting any dinner. The one on my knee? I asked my mom why Luke had stolen all my savings. I finished off the message by telling them my therapist believed they're narcissistic, emotional abusers who need serious help. Blocking them was the biggest high I'd ever felt, even more than the white coat ceremony. I let out a breath I didn't even know I was holding. I anticipated my phone being flooded, for my emails to be spammed, so when it happened, I wasn't even fazed. But then, there was something I never saw coming. Luke texted me on another number, apologizing. I couldn't tell you what happened next in this short. The full story is on my channel and linked below.